Gen Z is actually doing something smart. And the boomers are big mad at him. This is why Gen Z aren't applying for jobs. And it will shock you. I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to shock you at how common sense their reason for not applying to certain jobs is. Gen zero chance of applying. I see what you did there. The young workers say there's no way they would submit their resume for a job that doesn't list the estimated salary. Is that not just common sense? Is that not just fair? Like, I am not going to go through like 6 rounds of interviews and 3 months of getting pulled around every which way, like a 3-month humiliation ritual to try to land a job, only for the final offer to be dog shit. No, you tell me up front what the salary range is, or don't be surprised when no one applies to the job. Like, because look, when they don't list the salary, it's not because it's so ridiculously high. Like these jobs that they don't list salaries, like no one is ever surprised by how high the offer is once they get to the final stage. It's not like, oh man, I was expecting like 40,000 a year and they offered me 400,000. Holy shit, man. Like you never hear stories like that. No, for these types of jobs, it's always because what they're going to offer you is so low. If they posted the salary, they'd get even less applicants than when they don't post it at all. Yeah, it's one of those, you were expecting 40,000 and they gave you 20,000. A recent report from an essay writing service, EduBirdie, revealed that 58% of Gen Z employees won't submit an application if the expected income isn't disclosed. It's fair. Hey, if all these employers, if they're going to keep bitching that no one wants to work, at least tell people how much they're expected to work for. Is it really that hard? Or maybe it's for legal reasons. Maybe they don't want to get in trouble because they underpay so bad. The research keeps communicating to us that Gen Z associates their personal and professional happiness more with the money they earn than past generations have. Alex Bean, a financial literacy instructor at the University of Tennessee Martin, told Newsweek. For many of them, work isn't about fulfillment, but rather a way to earn an income that provides products and experiences that fulfill them. Now, that is true, but no one ever stops to think why. So back when the boomers were kids, you could actually live off of a part-time minimum wage job. You can't do that anymore. Dude, like in an era where you could pay all your bills with just about any job, I mean, yeah, at that point you can afford to be like, yeah, all I really care about is fulfillment. When half the jobs on the market don't even meet the minimum to pay your bills, unless you're willing to have 10 roommates in a 1-bedroom studio apartment, you can't really afford to care about anything but the money, guys. This is really only a problem for employers, because employers used things like passion and fulfillment and I'm making a difference in the world. They use that as an excuse to lowball you. Like, yeah, we can only pay you $15,000 a year, but think of all the positive impact you're going to make on the world as you pretty much, become our slave. And you make our CEO $100 million a year, but you're only going to see 15,000 of that. That's the reason they're so mad at this. Because now, like, Gen Z actually wised up. They're like, no, man, I want to get paid in money. I don't care about all this touchy-feely other shit. Just give me money. And it was not necessarily nefarious on the part of the employer. He added, some companies hesitate to share expected salaries on the job listing because internal concerns of how other staff may see pay compared to their own or to other employers. Yeah. Oh, yes. How is this not nefarious? Oh my God. Oh, well, we can't reveal the expected salary range because all of our other employees will find out they've been underpaid. How is that not nefarious, guys? Like, maybe it's not nefarious towards the job seeker per se, but this is definitely nefarious towards the current employees. Oh my God. Dude, this is like textbook MBA brah thinking right there. So, but he said it may be time for those employers to reconsider their choice to not feature salaries on job postings. Yeah, look, if you're worried that all your current employees will see how underpaid they are, maybe you should pay them better too. If you're worried that they'll find out all your competitors are paying them more, maybe you should pay them more. Oh, right. But that's going to cut into your executive's third yacht fund. Oh, we can't have that. That's going to get in the way of line going up. Oh, no. New York City, for one, implemented a salary transparency law in current year -3. Rare New York W right there. That requires employers to post a good faith pay range for all job listings. That should be a national law. Being added, more importantly, it may not be just Gen Z in the years to come, as more employers across generations are desiring to have a better picture of pay because of the current inflationary pressures. Yeah. And also, everyone knows all of the bullshit tactics these corpos use. According to the survey, which polled 2,000 adults aged 18 to 27, 71% of young people in the workforce believe in salary transparency, saying it should be talked about in the office. This generation is much more transparent about everything. Yeah, look, you're talking about a generation that posts everything they do on the internet. And I'm not saying that's a good thing. I think exactly the opposite, actually. I think this is going to have really bad consequences. But I'm just saying that's the explanation. So I think my friends are comfortable sharing what they earn, so everyone has a measuring stick of how much, if they're getting paid fairly for the work they do. Yeah, it's getting a lot harder for companies to hide that they're shafting their employees. She said discussions between or about pay between friends or colleagues can be a good bargaining tool so that workers can negotiate what is fair and with evidence. Well, as long as you don't go the feminist route. See, the feminist reasoning ends at job positions same, but pay different. They never look into why. It's like, yeah, your titles may be the same, but this guy does 3 times the work you do. That's why he gets paid more. So you have to be willing to accept some of those as explanations. Like, what? Why does Steve get paid double what I do, even though we have the same job title? Like, well, that's because Steve turns in 5 times the work you do. Can you do 5 times your current workload? We're willing to double your pay. Now, she even went so far as to say it's a red flag if company attempts to bar employees from discussing salaries. I am inclined to agree with that, because the reason they view it as a red flag is they don't want some employees to find out they're getting shafted. 100% true. Gen Z has watched previous generations get strung along with vague promises and being told to be grateful to even have a job when the job's expectations far exceed the pay. The candidates want to and deserve to know up front, human resource consultant Brian Driscoll told Newsweek. Wow, I'm actually agreeing with an HR consultant. That I never thought that would happen. The workforce has changed, and companies that refuse to adapt are setting themselves up to lose out on an entire generation of talent. Well, that's arguable. Like that is very much debatable. Are they really missing out on by not hiring a bunch of woke lunatics? Yeah, I think they'll be fine. I mean, they could just they could get better employees from other countries. It's going to take a little while to fix the U.S., to be fair, both on the employer and employee side. And the report also found that 58% of Gen Z workers say that an annual income of $50,000 to $100,000 would suffice, while 1 in 4 said $100,000 to $200,000 was the ideal salary range. Well, ideally would be literally as much money as is possible, but we're never going to get there. Driscoll warned that employers who do not divulge salaries will probably see fewer candidates applying for roles. Yeah, you'll definitely not get any of the good ones, because I'm going to tell you this now. If you don't post the salary on the job listing, you're not going to get any of the top tier talent. All you're going to get are the people that are so desperate to get any job that they're even going to apply to your place that doesn't even list the salary. If that's the kind of people you want, like just the most desperate people, I guess you're doing the right thing. So the irony is that companies claim they want the best talent, yet many still expect candidates to blindly apply without knowing if the pay is even livable, let alone aligned with industry standards and job requirements. And to be clear, this isn't a Gen Z problem. It's simply bad business strategy. Yeah. And the top talent, the best talent, can afford to not apply to these jobs. All you're going to get are the desperate talent. Some employers legit want that, though, because desperate people are the most, like, they're the easiest to control. The top talent, they know they can leave whenever they want and get another job with a competitor, like, by the time the day is out. The people that are living paycheck to paycheck and are desperate to pay their bills, though, yeah, those are the people that you can abuse the fuck out of. Like, that's how employers see it.